What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at this Mortal Kombat Classic Ermac. Let's take a closer look at the packaging here. And the back. Alright, let's crack them open. Alright, so here is Ermac. And I did pick him up from online at walmart.com. I bought him there, but I believe he's sold out there. So check Big Bag Toy Store, I believe has them, and McFarlane Toy Store also has them available. Last time I checked earlier today. But yeah, this guy is from Walmart. I mean, it took forever to get here. I mean, this is probably one of the, this and Johnny Cage was one of the longest figures I've ever had. I mean, this is like 2 weeks. Maybe even a little bit more. I don't know what happened around, I think it was like West Coast, like around Arizona it came from or something like that. But for some reason, this figure took an insane amount of time to get to here in Florida. It's like snail mail almost, you know. I mean, it was just so, 2 weeks is an awful lot. I don't think I've ever had a figure from the United States take that long to come, even if it was West Coast, you know, California and all that. To get here that long, 2 weeks. That is an awful long time. So that was my little experience with that. But anyways, talking a little bit about Ermac here. He actually debuted in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. He never appeared in Mortal Kombat 2 or 1. He does, it's basically his name Ermac stands for Error Macro for short. It was like kind of like a glitch that occurred in the 1992 arcade game, I guess. And so they would that glitch would be called an error macro, and then they kind of made this like a funny kind of character, just kind of like a secret character, I guess you could say. And that's how the name Ermac got formed, I guess. And then they created a whole story about him, and he's a ninja, and you know, he's a collector of souls and all that type of stuff. But yeah, he was actually never in Mortal Kombat 1 or 2, and he debuted in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So that's a little bit of a backstory there. Alright, so let's just take a closer look at this guy. And he's got those cool green eyes. Again, this is just basically a straight up repaint of the Scorpion and Sub-Zero figures, Reptile, Noob Saibot, Smoke coming up later. I know they had just announced a Smoke figure, so look out for that. But yeah, he's got pins, double jointed but with pins, McFarlane and their pins. Head articulation, not that great. I mean, he goes up a little bit, down like that, left, right, but nothing really crazy there. The worst part is the articulation in the arms here. You can't, because of the sleeves here, you can't really get that full range of, you know, his hands going up without the like the fabric part interfering. So it's kind of annoying. You can't really straighten out his arm. You know, he kind of has that forever sleeve thingy is in the way, so that's kind of disappointing about that. But looking at the legs, again, you get pins, but he is double jointed. It's got that classic kind of like stiff McFarlane joints that don't really, I mean, the arms are good, but the legs are very kind of weird. Kind of, I feel like it's like, I don't know, like stiff. All McFarlane figures are kind of like that, even with the DC Multiverse. But yeah. Then in the feet, you have the toe articulation. I don't really care for that, to be honest with you, but if you want it, it is there, and no problem. But yeah, he doesn't really, I mean, he kind of has an ab crunch in there. You can't really see it. Let's see. But yeah, it's there, but it's not very good. But you know, his costume really gets in the way of his articulation. So, you know, it's definitely not the best articulation. And if you wanted to see him from behind, that's how he looks like. I mean, nothing really special. Again, this is a straight up repaint from the Sub-Zero figure. I have him right here. So as you can see, same exact thing here. Nothing new, nothing fancy. You know, just a straight up repaint. If you wanted to get, you know, a Sub-Zero or a Scorpion figure, you could just literally paint them red and put a little green on the eyes, and you'd have Ermac basically. I mean, nothing special, but he does come with 2 kind of grippy hands, and that is pretty much it. Of course, you get the McFarlane Mortal Kombat Classic stand for that. Basically comes with every figure, but that's it. No blast effects, no additional heads, no weapons. So this figure is kind of bare bones. I will give it a little bit of credit because it does come with 2 additional hands, which is more than the Noob Saibot figure came with, which basically came with nothing, no hands, nothing, just a stand. And that was a red platinum figure, so that was pretty embarrassing. But yeah, not really a whole lot going on with this figure. Again, just a straight up repaint of Sub-Zero here, just for a little comparison shot. That's how they look. Nothing different here, except the face, of course. You got the green eyes of Ermac there, and then of course Sub-Zero. This is the I think this is the single pack release with the different head. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because different packs come with different heads, and I don't know. But yeah, that's how they look like. You know, the same thing with behind, nothing special, exactly the same, just a straight up repaint, nothing crazy. And for a little size comparison, here he is with Spider-Man 2099 from the Marvel Legends line. As you could see, that is 7-inch versus 6-inch. I wish he was 6-inch, you know. That's why I wish a company like kind of Jada Toys would take over this line, but McFarlane has it, unfortunately. I just wish he was shorter, you know. 7-inch to me is I don't like 7-inch, to be honest with you. Just rather prefer the 6-inch. But yeah, it's a decent figure. I mean, it's lacking a lot of articulation, you know. He doesn't really move a whole lot. Can't really do a whole lot, you know. I mean, he can go as far as that maybe, but, you know, this figure is just, like, the fact that he can't even move his arms, like, straight up. They don't go, you know, in more is kind of annoying. So, you know, these McFarlane Mortal Kombat figures, especially the ninjas, really lack articulation, so that's unfortunate. Now, McFarlane did have a live stream, I don't know, about like 2-3 weeks ago, I want to say, and they did announce a couple new figures this year. We're getting a Kung Lao, we're getting a Smoke, which is, I mean, that's an easy one. You just repaint them gray and call it a day, you know, maybe change up the face a little bit or whatever. So that is a very easy repaint for these guys. You're going to have another ninja, so you just paint them gray. And I'm assuming that they're going to do the same thing for maybe Rain. You could paint them purple and have maybe redo the little face a little bit or something like that. But hopefully they do a Rain. I would love to have a Rain figure. I mean, he'd be the last really main ninja. I think they have some other ones, but they're technically not. Yeah, I mean, ninjas, I don't know. But anyways, we're getting a Kung Lao, we're getting a Smoke, we're getting a Baraka figure, we're getting a Jax, and we're getting a Shang Tsung at some point this year, I believe. They're going to probably... Now, they haven't shown any pictures off of these figures, but they just announced them, so definitely look out for the announcement of and the pictures of these figures. I would definitely say at the San Diego Comic-Con, because that's when I believe they're big, you know, all the toy companies are there and they show off their new products and stuff like that. So definitely look out for that to see those pics, and maybe I'll do something, I'll have a video on that or something like that. But and I think they also announced that there's going to be not two, but more variant 2-packs. So you might get another version of Ermac here with blast effects, or maybe a different head, his like kind of demon head or something like that. You know, and the likes of Scorpion had the skull Sub-Zero had the frozen, you know, kind of eyes or whatever, and Reptile had the reptilian head. So they all have this kind of, you know, additional Player 2 variants. I know it's stupid that they do that. I really don't like. That's a really bad business practice. And, you know, they throw in all the additional hands and stuff like that you wanted in the single release and the effects and stuff like that. So I don't know why they play those games. That's really unfortunate, but unfortunately, you know, McFarlane has that license, and looks like they're going to be keeping it for a while or so. So, I mean, again, I do like, I mean, he's a decent figure, you know, but would I recommend him? Yeah, I guess if you're a big Mortal Kombat fan. But, you know, if you want to go ahead and just do your own version of Ermac, if you have an extra Sub-Zero or something like that, or a Scorpion, you could easily paint him red. You know, these part red if you're a good painter or something, and you'd have an Ermac. It's nothing special. This is nothing special here. Just a straight up repaint. Eyes are green. That's it. Maybe a little darkening around the eyes. That's it. Nothing special here. You know? So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.